Well. Here I go again. How y'all doing? My name is Reference. I'm gonna make this quick as I can, but it's thorough. I'm not gonna waste no time. My name is Reference because that's all I could be to you. It's a lot of teachers, but until I am a teacher and it's full, I feel like I got some things to do. But I feel like I am qualified enough to refer you and give you a little spill on certain topics. However, this one was another part of the download that I was talking about. This particular short is going to be talking about DNA, your DNA, in regards to sexual tantra and the negative and positive aspects that can come from it. First and foremost, one thing about DNA, y'all gotta look it up yourself now, okay? Y'all gotta look it up yourself. DNA is genetic information or a formula as instruction for how to make the body work or how to make the body. The cells inside help make up who you are, like the blueprint for a house. You can find that on Google, all right? So we're talking about DNA in regards to sexual tantra and the positive and negative aspects behind such a thing, okay? For some facts for you, or some references for you, 1 gram of DNA on the tip of your finger is 700 terabytes of data. They've also been downloading a book onto the DNA and upload it back out. 13.5 billion years of data is within that, or within you at a minimum. Look up what DNA stands for and what it's composed of, etc., etc., etc. All right? One of the discoverers of this factual information is a guy named George Church, and I believe his compadre, Creech Surrey. That's your reference for that. And you'll find some good information. Look up Billy Carson DNA. Information about DNA with Billy Carson. And we're gonna get into talking about DNA in regards to sexual tantra, the trauma aspects behind it. You delete your self-love program. You delete your self-love program when it comes to dealing with trauma. You got to get the trauma up out your DNA. The negative aspect, like I said, you delete your self-love program. You get stuck in a program that's a cycle over and over and over, you know? All that trauma mail, shutting down your amino acids in your DNA. And what it does is create a lockdown code. Your DNA will consist of creating a lockdown code through how you treat yourself and your thoughts and such. All right? You can find that maybe in a movie called Lucy. Lucy will talk about that. And it also talks about, in the reference I will give you at the end, it talks about the code of the DNA, UUAUUG, spacebar, CUCCU, ACUG, coding, DNA coding. You won't be able to operate out of your own creative firmament. These are the depths that we must take inside of us. You know, the positive aspects is the experience, which now helps you from, the experience that the negative program that you had helps you now from, or starting a reprogramming through understanding. And through these positive aspects, your genetics change. You change your genetics through application. One of the applications you could do is simply by writing down the reality you want, repetitiously going over it. This is not dealing with any other type of talk. This is just simply dealing with DNA conversation, DNA talk, DNA programming. Once you get rid of all the negative aspects you realize within yourself, or the trauma aspects, these what happen. This is what happens to your DNA. All right. You have in the reference I give you, you will see that the individual draws the DNA strands or some type of understanding of it, because it's never the actual drawing, but like a 2D version, and he draws the crystalline structures or the amino acids that's on the strands, and he tells you and shows you and gives you references that these can be changed through how you simply don't handle your trauma, or how you do handle your trauma, you know. So in regards to sexual tantra, you might as well not even get into it. Excuse me. Go ahead, get into it. But please do your best to work on, because the negative aspect behind that, dealing with sexual tantra, is you won't like yourself. So you might as well not even get into it, because you will gravitate towards someone who, you know, with you but don't like you. You don't like yourself. Right? So the positive aspects behind it is you'll attract somebody that'll be more harmonized to you. You'll meet your reflection. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're perfectly imperfect. Right? One of the biggest things that can happen, how important we are, is we could rip up the planet's harmonics. He talks about that on a micro and macrocosm level, not having these things together. All right? This is the trauma of such a thing. And we explain the negative and positive aspects of it just as the basics. Of course, this thing could go for a long time, but this is what I received, and this is as short as I could make it. And I have a reference for it. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. You know, and it is a correlation. Unless I wouldn't be telling, I would have kept it to myself if it wasn't for the collective. But everybody could take what they take out of it. Don't sit down and talk. If not, you don't have to. Just deal with it in your own mind. If you're not interested in it, that's cool too. That's cool too. So I'm just giving my spiel. DNA in regards to sexual tantra. Could be going beyond the porn stage, beyond the oh goddess, oh queen, man, chill out. King, ooh, chill out. We gonna get some things done first, all right? Yeah. Nah, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're dealing with DNA in regard to sexual tantra and the negative and positive aspects of it in regard to healing transformation, the negative aspect, you will shut down your light pattern. You will rearrange your sequence, destroying the link and connection necessary for DNA communication. You will shut down the chemicals, the alchemicals. You'll shut it all down. And what worth are you to yourself? It's the architect unknowingly killing itself, storing destructive data, destroying destructive information from the negative aspects and not healing properly, or not healing at all, or not even trying. So if we want to engage in such higher aspects of cultivation or learning more heights and different information and all the myriad of things we could be doing when it comes to subjects, and it's a whole lot of different literature on it, but in regard to this, I never heard it before. I never looked it up. I told y'all how it came through. So now I gotta find literature in order for it to sink through, something like that, you know? So, water. I don't want to show the sign and symbol, nothing. Get nobody in no trouble. Positive aspects behind this thing is memory programming. Memory is programmed properly and is equal to your desired result of yourself. You transform it. You heal it. There's a lot of synchronicity that will go on between yourself and your partner. Things will be aligned properly. The end result will definitely be dope. As far as sexual tantra, positive aspects behind such a thing will be the consciousness, the transformation. The consciousness transformation. You'll be open-minded to such different things. You won't think it's taboo or devilish, or the fear will begin to wean away from your being, or more than your human self. Yeah? You know, so heal, transform. Negative aspect behind not doing this thing in regard to sexual tantra, the art of making love, or the dance, or the simple cuddle. No self-love at all. Just a tad bit external, what you see in the mirror. Voguing. You voguing in the mirror. Ooh, I look good on my face. Ooh, I look good. Ooh, I look good on my face. I want to show people I'm tired. Let me put on this. I don't want to take up too much time. So, as far as sexual tantra, that's the negative aspect of it. But then you have a money and material aspect of it. Money and material things, how it will affect you on this plane. By you not having these things together, or recognizing or being aware, you will affect your money. You will affect the material things. No, if you badly damaged like that, or you might just get that. But for those who's ready to embark on this journey of just learning and practicing, and it's not just something it's all in your choice. You could be interested in somebody and still practice the application of sexual tantra. You could be in love and still practice the subject of sexual tantra. But while you're in love, you must also be the scientist. And that don't mean you just doing it just for the act. No. The question is to be raised, but you're not being ignorant here. We're getting away from those thoughts. So check yourself. All right? Check yourself many times before you go on this thing. This journey. I know somebody named Journey. So the positive aspects behind this is you have this genius about you. We all have a genius in our DNA, from what I read. A career path will open up, your desires, etc. You'll also be the real life Renaissance woman, the real life Renaissance man about yourself. Tapping into your DNA. This is all about DNA. This ain't no shadow work. We did that last run. That's why I made it all black. But then we talking about DNA right here. DNA in regards to sexual tantra and the negative and positive aspects behind it, dealing with trauma, dealing with your healing and transformation. And right now we talking about how dealing with your pocket, materialistically and currency-wise. Get your currency right. So you become a particular magnet, but not external magnet, an internal magnet, dealing with the codings of your DNA. Even though it's not about money, that's a small sandwich compared to what trickles down. However, we are operating in talking about these densities, 3-dimension, 4th, 5th, and 6th type of information, summoning and invoking these energies. I don't know it all, but it's important to spark our minds and bring it as an issue to be discussed, rather than just dealing with some old other stuff. There's literature out here. I'm just trying to, I guess, relay the message, and you'll easily correlate the link. Huh? So, a good movie to talk about. I like movies. I'm a movie guy. You if you ever was to deal with Josh, we finna watch some movies and chill, you know. And it's Friday the 13th. Watching horror movies all night. But so you know, damn, getting off topic, my bad. Buckaroo Banzai. That's a good movie because he's like a real Renaissance dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a real Renaissance dude, and you'll see him operating in all the different type of talents he want to do, and he also recruits people and bring out the Yukare, which is my name also. My name is Yukare, but my name is referenced on TV. But he brings out the god or goddess within them out. Bring that thing out. Water. The negative aspects of such a thing. Non-released abundance, not properly handled, or released abundance to you, not properly handled. You'll lack courage, chakra issues. You'll lack the topic of drive and where it lives at inside your chakra, and the deeper aspects of that on a DNA scale, or wherever the coding lies and take place. You'll have a whole equation of a messed up attitude, understanding, and above all, wisdom. You'll be a fool for someone to learn wisdom off of, rather a wise one to learn wisdom from. When you're dealing with this DNA sequence, the positive aspects of sexual tantra is you get to buy back some time. Oof, you get to buy back some time and get to tap into your purpose, your soul purpose. And you'll be able to help your significance purpose too. That's if you're into this, whatever gender you cause to decide. Sexual tantra in regards to DNA. Work, baby. Work, fellas. Oh, excuse me. Negative aspects of that in regards to sexual tantra is you don't want to be stuck inside of a cycle. We all been stuck in a cycle before because we haven't learned the spiritual lesson of it. And you don't want to be stuck in a cycle. And these are the things that I'm explaining if we want to embark on a sexual tantra. These are the things that I'm explaining, whatever literature or dreams or downloads or channels or individuals you meet or whatever you decide to get into or not get into. If you're not getting into it, you might just cut the video off. You know, unless you're trying to make some money, whatever. I don't care. But if you're trying to get into it, I'm saying for the health benefits and the fullness of it you can have, go ahead and get yourself right. It don't have to take long. Like how they say, you don't need days to do anything. And I know this best. I procrastinated before. Many of us have. I'm not no guru. But I have been doing this for a while. For real. Like for real. I've been like this since I've been 5. Man, y'all just don't even know, man. I ain't just get like this. Crazy, I just, man, don't play with it. So when you talking about, so we talked about the trauma, we talked about the healing transformation, and we talked about the money and material aspects from it, which are all really important. These topics I feel like I always should explain in regards to it. But, you know, talking about the different channel topic. In this one, you can definitely, for the last topic, I call it entity creation. It's a little scary, but it's real. And you do this not from nothing external, but from the power from within you. The negative aspects in regards to sexual tantra and DNA, from you being negative in heading into or get ready to get into the act of sexual tantra, just want to rush It's okay to rush, but rush getting yourself together. How about that? Some people go through a quickening so they can move faster than others while getting the job done. I don't know if everybody knows, but the earth has sped up anyway. So we all understand the concept of an Energizer bunny or woodpecker movement. So fear, for example, is a broad energy wave from what I learned, and you will get the reference at the end of this. Fear, for example, is a broad energy wave signature. It can exist, and it does exist, but it won't be able to attach itself or communicate with the strands. It's not sensitive enough to engage for the DNA or amino acid communication type of function. It'll be more of a dysfunction when you dealing with that. You'll strengthen the entity of fear. When you strengthen the entity of fear, and you know, but you might not know that the energy is so powerful, it can leave a whiff on other people even when you walk by. So like somebody say when they wake up, oh, the hag is on my back. Ain't no hag on your back. That's you know, that's a different type of conversation, but it can be stuff that attaches itself to your aura or attaches stuff to your field. And you have different types of fields or layers that emanate off the body. Everybody does. Some is weaker than the next, but that's okay. That's why we talk about trying to get it together. And some people want to jump the gun before getting into this. I have. I ain't know nothing about no healing before I got into sexual tantra, and I'm still a baby in it. But I love talking about it. You know? So I know, you know, I'll put you to or send you towards a reference of people who really had masters, really studied on them, really, you know, they may have, and they may be on their way out the door. So it's important to, you know, ain't no need to worry about what I do or what you do. Let's first talk about the ones who've been doing it before we got to the planet. And if we have our 2 cents, we ain't got to keep it in our pocket. Go ahead and share with them. It's a little currency talk, you know. But that's the negative aspects of entity creation. You can create an entity, a real life entity, by being in fear off of dealing with stuff before you even get into sexual tension. But before you get into sexual tension, it will be increased. It will be increased. So however how you are, it will be increased. If you a jerk off, it will be increased. If you a lover, it will be increased. If you this or that, it will have its wonderful effects or detrimental. Correspondence, duality, polarity, right? 12 laws of nature, so to speak, right? We all incorporating it together. People say, I don't understand how this mixes. Well, microcosm, macrocosm. We talking about alchemy. Alchemy. This is the channel we on. You know? We talking about alchemy. Water. Strengthen that entity. It'll be a whole, somebody walk, like everywhere you walk, the entity gonna be with you. Because you the genie. You know, you said, hey, I want an entity of fear walking around me. You think it ain't real. You better watch Pokemon and the old Digimon joints. Like, I'm sure they're showing enough cartoons experiencing and showing the world. So when you're dealing with the positive aspects, is the amino acids, the amino crystals in the strands of the DNA, which is very dense. It'll communicate to the crystals because you are as master or an author or orchestrator. And you'll have flow, genetic flow. You'll create an entity of positivity, create an entity of harmony, create an entity of, oh, I attracted this information, I'm on the right track. Or you know, telling you, man. DNA, your DNA in regards to sexual tension, we get deep. We gotta get deep because some of us gonna have kids. Some of us gonna have children that carry on. So they'll be already straight when you get it together in all levels. So we talked about shadow work. We talk about doing it on the DNA level. That's real big to help them out, you know. And others around you. You all are part of the same piece of paper. So you get yourself together, you helping somebody else out within your soul family, or your spiritual family, so to speak, huh? All right. The positive aspects behind this dealing with sexual tantra is harmonization of a high energy exchange. You'll be ever increasing each other when you make love, or when you, I apologize, not even making love. When you just around each other or be in conversation, y'all feel it. I know y'all felt it before. You talking to somebody, you feel it. It feel good, don't it? You say, well, I ain't have to do none of that stuff and I felt like that. Well, it might be not be for you. It might have been for somebody else. Good for you. You're just trying to cover the whole shebang. Nothing linear. We are melanated. I am melanated. So I'm going to be talking in many different pieces of the whole pie. You know, it's all one, right? We are one. So, ever increasing each other. No mixing. We ain't mixing. Oh, what's up? Let's mix. No, let's harmonize. Like a harp. You know? Let's harmonize. That way it'll be more. You understand the difference between mixing and harmonizing? That is what it is. Mixing ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna be no harmony. We're just mixing. Bye. Hey. Ooh. Negative aspects. Entity jumps. You know, cousins, people glitching and, you know, strand information all mixed up. You adopting the attitude of not even be harmonized. You're not even with it. You know? It'll be all messed up. It'll be all messed up. You create an entity of unlove, no love. When you get into the sexual tantra, you enhance the part of you which you ain't got going on. It'll be glitchy. And it might get on somebody else and they start feeling some type of way. That's the same way you feeling like that and go to work. And then you cook some food for somebody and you feed it to them. Yeah, it tastes good, but it sure didn't make them feel good when they ate it and swallowed it in their second brain, which is their stomach. You said, dang, all that reference? Yeah, all that. And a bag of chips. So, you know, that's pretty much what I have for that. I know I explained it kind of quick, but it's a lot. It's a lot, and I want to get it out as fast as I can. And just like that, because it's important that I explain about the entity creation. It's important that I talk about how you could mess your money up. But it was also important for me to talk about the DNA aspects. Whenever you're dealing with the DNA, they also I have this on my Facebook page. Whenever they get some of our DNA, they did an experiment on someone, and within the experiment, they wanted to measure the distance of how the DNA will act if it was close and far. So by us working in our DNA and protecting our DNA, these things, we will be able to shield ourselves from the experiments or the individuals who know more about ourselves, you know, than we do. Because in this example, the DNA was able to be manipulated from a very far away, but they started up close. So they dealt with the individual's emotions. So they had DNA and they put it in a sample and they had it in a room, and then they had the other individual in the room, had this individual feel some type of way, or they excited him, and the DNA reacted in the opposite room. The DNA reacted in the opposite room it didn't have no difference. So then they said, well, let's drive them 50 miles out. And it still had no difference. So deal with your DNA. And remember that you can also withhold somebody else's DNA. So have yourself together and have yourself right slowly. That don't mean you'll hurt somebody just because you don't have it all together. No, it's not that serious. However, at least you could deal with the basics, and I could deal with the basics. Other people could deal with the basics, you know? So, without further ado, the reference for this information is Dr. Phil Valentine's Metaphysics of DNA. Dr. Phil Valentine, Metaphysics of DNA. Dr. Phil Valentine's Metaphysics of DNA. Walter. So the last topic we talked about was shadow work in regards to sexual tantra. In this topic we talked about DNA, your DNA, all of our DNA in regard to sexual tantra. Oof. Yeah, that music in the back. I know how I like it. I'll be getting away. I don't even be here. I promise you I don't. I'll be trying to do like Dr. Lean Bay teaches, one foot in, one foot out, when it does the human work and the spiritual work. But this right here was very special because it's going to help us out as a collective whenever we decide to embark or engage in it. And take your time, but let's not waste no time, because there are things that is non-human that wants to be human and take your place. So let's get it done. Let's start helping each other out. You know, support one another currency-wise. Let's also do a little bit of the work, step by step. And remember, you know, your reference for that was the Metaphysics of DNA by Dr. Phil Valentine's. The other information in regards to the DNA, also as far as the bulletin facts I gave in the beginning, was Mr. Billy Carson. Then I gave the other references also where the information and science was done in practice and given by Mr. Churchill and his compadre. So, without further ado, I appreciate y'all time, appreciate y'all ear. DNA in regards to sexual tantra. Peace.